pandemic has changed the world. Margaret W. Wong and Associates, with over 40 years experience in U.S. immigration law, keeps working for you in the midst of adversity. Offices are in Cleveland, New York, Memphis, Atlanta, Columbus, Raleigh, North Carolina, Nashville, Chicago, and Minneapolis. Look after your loved ones and we'll take care of your immigration needs. Please call us at 216-279-3984. That's 216-279-3984.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for having us today. My name is Juan Carlos Brando, and I'm really excited today that I am next to Miss Wong. Well, keeping social distance, but today is a nice day. It's a sunny day, despite of the fact that it's 21 degrees here in Cleveland. But we're happy to have everyone with us and have the opportunity to answer your questions. Ms. Wong will be answering all of your questions today. And take the time, please, to ask any questions that you have now in this next 30 minutes. Ms. Wong will be happy to answer them. Ms. Wong, how are you doing today?
I'm good, and welcome to Cleveland. It's exciting.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure to be here, especially the view from the plane after a snowfall. It looks just beautiful. So thank you so much, Ms. Wong. We've had a lot of questions about what's going on, and actually a Venezuelan person just sent a message through inbox about the decision or the reform proposal that was presented by President Biden about bringing these immigration changes. So is that stuck right now? Is in the Congress?
It haven't really started because right now both Senate and Congress are so busy with the impeachment of the president that right now the movement have not started. Already in this morning's newspaper, Mr. Jose Ramos is my hero. I mean, he's the one who really brought immigration topics to the forefront. He's already talking about Plan B. I don't necessarily think we should go to Plan B yet, and we need to really push for immigration reform to be one of the first reform that Biden could achieve when he's in as a president.
Yeah, so we just need to wait after they say something, because some people think that what he signed was an executive order, but it's not, right?
For the whole immigration reform, you really need to be passed by Congress and Senate. Senate has a problem because it's 50-50, and not all the Republicans on board will vote for the reform because it's still GOP. So for the Congress, we expect it to pass. It's the Senate that's a major problem.
Okay. Well, but now I think it's 50-50, and then Vice President Harris could be the one who makes the big decision, right?
Let's hope so. Yes.
Okay. So please feel free to ask any questions today. Ms. Wong is ready to answer them, and she has been posting some podcast on YouTube. She has been doing some short answers for your questions. So please write them down, and we will start answering each one of them. So this first comment here says, "I'm glad to see my wonderful lawyer here. God bless you, ma'am." Is Adenekan Oladapo is the name of this person. So thank you so much. And let's start reading some of the questions that people are sending right now. Don't forget that you can call to this phone number, 216-279-3984, 216-279-3984, and that Ms. Wong has offices in 9 cities of the United States: Atlanta, Chicago, Columbus, Cleveland, Memphis, Minneapolis, Nashville, New York, and Raleigh, North Carolina. And you can find her also in imwong.com. For more information, 216-279-3984. So this first question coming in here is, Ms. Wong, what's going to happen with the no deportation for 100 days.
Okay, that's this morning I got a call from a client who actually had deportation when she was 15 years old at the border, and now she's 35 years old, have two children, and is happily married. So she's still concerned that should I do the motion now? If I do anything, will I be deported? Even if I don't do anything, doesn't mean I will be deported. In this case, she probably won't be deported because right now, sort of immigration, like she's in a gray area. She has deportation, but she had never committed a crime. So if tomorrow ICE picked her up, she should not be deported. Number one is an in absentia, so we can file a motion. Anytime you file a motion in absentia, number one, you don't have to pay a filing fee. Number two is automatic stay. Now, the fact that it's automatic stay and she's now in jail, would she be deported? I presume she won't be because that's what the 100-day moratorium means. On the other hand, it doesn't mean that if I have serious criminal record, we have another case where she sat in jail 4.5 years on using fake, actually it's a Portuguese passport, and also pleading guilty to a crime. Because Portuguese passport, they come on ESTA, the visa waiver, she's automatically to be deported. Right now, she's in jail because of the virus and stuff. Will she be deported? So now we have to study the criminal case, and we may have to, that's not even a motion because visa waiver automatic, you can't even do 10 days. So now we have to figure out a way to somehow keep her here. Anytime there's a way to keep her here, they'll give ICE some reason to maybe alert the 100-day moratorium, no deportation.
Okay, so that's the answer for your question. Thank you so much, Ms. Wong, for this answer. And feel free to ask any other questions regarding to immigration. And the next question is, hello, my name is something. I am Tunisian. I am 40 years old. I came to the United States over 3 years ago with a tourist visa, B1, B2. I want to know, is there a possibility to make a work permit or social security and green card? Thank you.
Yes, that's a very good question. It's a legal entry overstay from a country that's predominantly Arabic. So under Trump, they probably don't like it because you already missed your 1-year asylum. Under Biden, if there's a good reason why you missed 1 year, and we can file an asylum claim and explain the trauma, the reason, then you may be able to get a work permit after more than a year. But because this is filed after August, you probably won't be able to get the work permit. There are two organizations that if we become members, one is CASA, one is ASAP. With that organization, they stop the 1-year rule and they also stop the 365 work permit. So you may or may not be able to get a work permit. I think before we decide what to do, what to join, the first thing you need to do is to explain how come I didn't file right away. If you hate the country so much, how did you ever get a tourist visa? How many times have you came back and forth, because if there's a fear, why did you leave America and go back? Or another country, like if you were in another country, why did you go back and forth? Because there's a fear. And once we collect all these documents and information, now we decide what should we do. Because not only you could get a work permit, if we explain the 1-year rule, you may even win asylum. But if they don't believe in the 1 year or they deny our 1-year rule, then we can also do withholding. That means that you get an A10 work permit every year, but there's still a final order of deportation, but at least you can stay in America until that condition change. But maybe during this time, hopefully the President Biden rule will change, you still remain here. That's how you do this case.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Wong, for this answer, and this person for your question. Please feel free to call. This person is in New York, so we have offices in New York. The phone number is the same, 216-279-3984, 3984. So the next question we have coming through our inbox is Biden stopping deportation? I think we'll re-answer that one.
Mhm.
And this other person, I am in Nashville. Is your office currently open here? I have a case that my wife wants to apply for me. I would like to know how long is it taking, and well, they want to know the cost, but for some reasons we're not allowed to say that on air. So, Ms. Wong,
Yes. There are two ways to do your case. If you came to America legally and never really left and come back illegally, I can do an AOS adjustment of status and get your work permit within 2.5 months to 6 months after we file. Nashville immigration is right now open, not the Memphis court, because all Nashville cases goes to Memphis for court, but Nashville itself have a new immigration office that started only a few years back. They're open for interview now, so you should be able to get an interview in less than 1 year. So that's AOS. That's our 3045 case. Another way to do this case is if you enter illegally and you never really had more than 365 days back and forth illegally, that means you have no perm bar. First, you do the I-130, then you need to do a 601A, then you need to go out to the home country and come back after 1 or 2 or 3 weeks to get the green card and come back. So that's the waiver. Under President Biden's changes, you don't need to, even though you have to leave and come back, you don't need to file the 601A. That's what we're praying for, that Senate and Congress would reform immigration back to the good old days, which is about 20 years ago. I still remember in those days, we just leave and come back in 1 day for the interview. As long as there's no fraud, you won't need a waiver.
okay, that's a good thing to know. And if your wife wants to apply for you, please feel free to call Ms. Wong, 216-279-3984, 216-279-3984. So right now, Pascual is asking in Spanish, and I'll try to translate into English. I had an asylum case in 2014. I left under a bond and I applied for a T visa. I was approved, and the asylum case, the judge was terminated. My question is, how can I obtain my money back from the bond? Because we paid it, but we didn't go to, I didn't go to court. Can you help me? The attorney already said that they can help me with the bond.
Yes, you could. I could help you with a bond, but you don't want to pay a lawyer to get a bond back. The deportation case is approved, is terminated, which means that it's dismissed. All right, your T visa is approved. Congratulations. This means that you already won your case. The bond money definitely should come back to you plus interest. Now, on the other hand, did you pay money order and have your friend who's a citizen or green card sign, or did you use a bonding company? That's why sometimes, unlike criminal cases, because bonding company came up with 5 or 10% bond, and bonding company, you always use a bonding company because it's cheaper. But an immigration bond, because it's so high, it's like 35 to 50% because a lot of immigrants abscond. So my advice is check out what kind of bond, or call me. But if not, call me. But if not, check out the kind of bond you paid. If you pay in money order, you should get all your money back plus interest. All you have to do is to bring the bond, the original signature with the person who signed, because you were in jail and you couldn't sign because you had no papers. Whoever signed, you need to bring him or her with you to ICE, and they should return the money in less than 4 months or 4 or 5 months plus interest. But if you pay the bonding company, you need to deal with the bonding company. But surely I could help you, but you don't need a lawyer. It's your money, you should get it back.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Wong, for your honesty. And yeah, some people just need to go and contact the bond company, which is that's a big business, right, Ms. Wong?
Oh, very big.
They,
Huge. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some bigger than the others. They kind of help, but then what?
It's such a huge business. It's embarrassing. Number one. Number two is worse is most, especially Latino clients, they don't know. At least people from India, China, because they speak a little bit of English and they're very, like, they're tough, you know. Latino people are very, very, like, they're very trusting. So a lot of times they'll pay like $500 a month. And a bonding company would tell them, you have to pay us $500 a month until you win your case or until you lost your case and leave the country. So we have some clients who have been here for 5 year, 10 year. We got them work permit. The court is postponed, and then paying the $500 bond. I mean, by now it's like, I don't know, 100,000 or 20,000. But for them, it's only 500. It's like buying a car. You know, making money in America with a work permit, paying the bonding company, paying the lawyers. So that's why it's. We need to educate our people so they know that certain things you don't need a lawyer, certain things you absolutely need a lawyer. And bonding company, you should only, because that's why they take the risk. If I run away, they have to come up with the money. That's how they make money. It's like an insurance policy, but it doesn't mean you keep paying them until you die or something. You know, it's just sad.
Yeah, that's true. And actually, we have a question coming in that is very interesting, but just don't forget, Ms. Wong has offices in 9 cities of the United States. Cleveland, where we are right now, here are the headquarters, and Atlanta, Chicago, Columbus, Memphis, Minneapolis, Nashville, New York, and Raleigh, North Carolina. And you can call 216-279-3984, 216-279-3984. This person says, yesterday, a person who looked like an American person yelled at me and insulted me, racist comments without any reason. Is there something I could do for that?
Absolutely. There are two things you can do. You either, actually, I would do both. In most metropolitan or rural police station now, they have a hate crime unit. But more than that, FBI have an awesome hate crime unit that you need to just walk up to the FBI office. They're very nice. They're not going to report you to ICE. You know, just talk to them. They will ask you to fill out certain forms. Their unit is comprised of like civic leaders and people who really understand discrimination law and stuff like that. Absolutely, you need to do something, especially also the Asian people, Chinese, because right now, because of the virus, people think the Chinese people brought the virus into America. So there's a lot of, especially now it's Chinese New Year. So there's a lot of violence against people of color. Ultimately, it doesn't matter what color we're ultimately the same. We all have dreams, aspirations, and goals. We want to work permit in America. We want to drive. We want to bring my first girlfriend when I'm 17 years old out on a date without sitting at the back of a car with my parents in front. I mean, these are little things we want. DACA is helping that, but not so much for the people who came to America after June 15th of 2007. So there's little things that we can do to help to make life better and easier. And it's not like we're helping all the big criminals or the bad people. You know, it's just little kindness that we can do.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Wong. And don't forget, 216-279-3984, 216-279-3984. You can write your questions right now. We are live, and all of these questions are free. I mean, the answer is free. So please write down your questions, and Ms. Wong will be happy to answer each one of them. This next person is Natalie. I came in 2015 on a tourist visa. I overstayed my visa. I have 2 kids. Both are born in the United States. One is 4 years old and the other is 2. Can I adjust my status? My home country is India.
Okay, you cannot adjust your status even though your legal entry overstay until the kid is 21. So if a child born here, that old law is gone in the 50s and 60s. If you have a child born here, probably in the 40s, that you are probably an American citizen, but that child is not. Now any children who wants to sponsor parents, they have to be 21. So the answer is no.
Okay. Please contact Ms. Wong. She will maybe check something about you, maybe in a conversation. You can find out if there is a way that you can do something for your immigration needs. Thank you so much, Ms. Wong. The next question coming in is coming from we're always grateful. And this person said, I didn't hear the answer. I'm sorry. Maybe you can find it later on. I have a question. I have a petition in process. It's an I-130, which I am asking for my mom. She is currently in the United States. She came on a tourist visa and she has only been here for 2 months. I would like to know what happens if she overstays her visa and don't go back to our home country.
See, this is a case where I figured you thought the best way is to do the I-130. It would take about a year. Cable the approval to National Visa Center, and then she'll go out and come back with a green card. Maybe that's your plan. What I would have done probably, because it's a legal entry and she just came 2 months ago, I would not have filed I-130. I would have waited for 95, the lowest 90 days under Trump, so I would wait for maybe 120 days. And if there's any reason she changed her mind, especially with the virus, why make someone old go back and forth? I would file adjustment of status maybe if there's a changing of the mind, because at time of entry, she's told the airport people, the CBP, that I'm coming in to visit my daughter, I'll be leaving, right? And it's probably not her first time. So after about 120 days, if you file adjustment of status, Trump is talking about all interviews will be, normally when a tourist visa is here, children apply parents, they normally don't even need to go to interview, but under Trump that changed. So during the interview, the officer may ask, what made you change your mind? As long as you explain, this case should be approved. But if she needs to go back because she has to stay here to wait for the green card unless she got parole, if she needs to stay here, she should. But if not, just let her go and come back and forth with a tourist visa. As long as she can justify she will go back on each trip, then she needs to go out and apply for a green card and come back. But that's more a hard thing because the poor lady had to run to the American embassy to, just more difficult. Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ms. Wong. Okay, we're receiving questions yet, so you can write them down. Every question or every answer is free. And for more information, you can call 216-279-3984, 216-279-3984. Next question is coming from Dolly. She says, I'm waiting for an interview for 10 months now. I was sponsored by my mom in 2013. She doesn't actually say the question. I think it's just a comment. Is there something you want to add?
Yeah, so basically, my question will be, what interview are you waiting for? Your mom filed I-130 for you in 2013. If you're over 21 and your mom is only a green card, you should have already gotten a green card because EB Family Base 2A had opened in 4 years. Actually, Family 2B, because Biden is looking at making Family 2A into immediate relatives. So if your mother's a green card, you're over 21, unless you're from Mexico, it should take only 4 or 5 years. But if you're from Mexico, they won't interview because I-130 is taking 25 years and depends on what visa you are. But next week, maybe if you can tell me what country you're from, when did you come to America? Why wasn't the I-130 filed before April 2001? Because that will give you 245I, because then you can actually do a perm and a faster green card. I can answer your question more directly.
Thank you so much, Ms. Wong. The phone number is 216-279-3984, 216-279-3984. Next question is Erika. Hello, good afternoon, Attorney Margaret. I have a police report that I was threatened with a weapon. Could I apply for an EU visa?
Yes, it depends on what year you were a victim of crime. Were you a witness or were you a victim? And if you're really a victim and the police made a mistake by saying you're a witness, you need to go get your police report changed or something. So it depends on also, is the DA's office or the police office, sheriff's office willing to sign off the 918B? And also, if you have any psychological damage or physical damage, if all these add up to positive, absolutely file the U visa.
Thank you so much, Ms. Wong. And this other person is saying, I absolutely recommend Ms. Wong. She made a great job with me, very professional. Now I am a U.S. citizen.
Oh, that is so sweet.
Okay, thank you
That
so
is
much
sweet.
for this
Yeah.
comment from this person.
Thank you.
And yeah, if you have more questions, we have a few minutes more so that you can send them over, and Ms. Wong will be answering each one of them. So remember that Ms. Wong has offices in 9 cities of the United States: Atlanta, Chicago, Columbus, Cleveland, Memphis, Minneapolis, Nashville, New York, and Raleigh, North Carolina. And she is doing a lot of things so that you can be informed about what's going on in the immigration world of the United States. So you can find her in YouTube, in Spotify, Instagram, Facebook, her website, in some cities, the radio station. So she's everywhere helping people that want to achieve their dream of having a relief in the immigration concern. The next question is, after the approval of the U visa, what do we need to wait to get the green card?
Okay, there are 2 ways to have new visa approved, but under Trump, there's only one way. When Obama was president, you can actually get the C-14, C-15 work permit, but under Trump, they won't even approve your new visa until the 4,000 or 10,000 numbers are out. And now you get the 4-year work permit, which is the A-19 and A-20. So I presume you're asking about the 4-year working visa, because right now they're not issued. Most of them, 95% of cases are 4 years now. So what you need to do is absolutely do not leave the country for 3 years, because it has to be continuous to be in America under that U visa before we can get you a green card, number 1. Number 2 is make sure 3 years and 1 day, or at least before the 4 years are up, you have to apply for the 485 green card, because I've seen cases where somehow the alien forgot to apply. Now we have to do a non-proton U visa approval, especially when the couples were divorced or separated. Then we have to do a non-proton, and then they hate each other, they don't talk to each other, so we don't have documents. So after 3 years and 1 day, you make sure you file for the green card. Then the work permit that you're going to file is under C9, because 19 and 20, you have to pay a filing fee. C9, you don't need to pay a filing fee. Trump talked about increasing the filing fee, but that was never enacted, all right? So let's pray that the filing fee remains, because it's expensive, even though U visa itself is free. But the I-192, I think it's like $800-900. So for our clients, I like to do 2 work permit, because maybe, just maybe, I can get that 2 years. I mean, it's worth it, because each work permit is $410. So I may have wasted $410, but on the other hand, if I got it approved before the 4 years, my person can get a driver's license, file tax return, but no traveling, all right? So that social is very important, that work permit. So make sure, and you should get the green card. In the early days, it's about 4, I've been doing this for so long, it's about 4 to 5 months. Nowadays, they check everything one more time, so it's still take about a year and a half. At that time, you can file for parole, because 485, I still don't recommend you leave and come back, because U visa is just a strange visa. It's a very special visa, so don't screw it up.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Wong. And this question is coming through. Hello, my aunt came in 2015 on a tourist visa from India and overstayed. So what are the new rules applied as per Biden administration if she wants to apply for a work permit? Thank you.
The only thing that could have helped him is if the Biden, because she has no 3-year, 10-year bar, she also have no perm bar, because when she came on tourist visa, she never left. The only thing that would help her is two. Number one, if she have a really, really good asylum story and overcome the 1 year, she'll be able to get the work permit under ASAP or CASA. Number two, that would help her if the Biden new law comes in and the law doesn't have to say she's physically in America for January 1st of 2021. She could be here before January 1st of 2018 because she was here by 2017. So this new law by Biden is pretty controversial because what they're saying is that as long as you're in America before January 1st of 2021, all of you are entitled to a work permit. So what does that mean, Because that's why the Republicans are going nuts. That's why Jose Ramos is talking about, well, let's go to plan B. So, but for your end, I would either wait for a new law or come up with a really interesting reason why she left. Is she with her husband? Is she single and unmarried? Or she ever abused? I mean, why did she leave a beautiful home? I mean, maybe some homes are not beautiful. Where you're secure, where you're happy and safe, why come here? Or where your home not safe? This is the mystery.
Thank you so much, Ms. Wong. We are done with the time today. So thank you so much for each one of your answers and looking forward to hear from you in YouTube. Tomorrow is going to be an interesting day regarding to her podcast. One of them is coming out, I think, is about what's going to happen with the perm bar according to this new administration. So please find it in YouTube. It's going to be released tomorrow in the very, very morning. Thank you so much, Ms. Wong.
Thank you.
And thanks, everyone, for joining us today. Please feel free to call 216-279-3984, 216-279-3984, Attorney Margaret W. Wong.
This pandemic has changed the world. Margaret W. Wong and Associates, with over 40 years experience in U.S. immigration law, keeps working for you in the midst of adversity. Offices are in Cleveland, New York, Memphis, Atlanta, Columbus, Raleigh, North Carolina, Nashville, Chicago, and Minneapolis. Look after your loved ones and we'll take care of your immigration needs. Please call us at 216-279-3984. That's 216-279-3984.